Is JYP about to make his biggest mistake ever? Now, why did I even ask that question? Because JYP is about to do something that may either be a huge success or may hurt the JYP name. You probably saw the news articles already talking about JYP debuting 4 new groups this year. 4 new groups in 1 year. That's insane. That's crazy. Now that is crazy just from like the first time hearing it. 4 groups in 1 year. No other company has ever done this in K-pop history, and JYP is about to be the first. We already know one of those 4 groups that are going to debut this year. That group being ITZY, which already released a teaser trailer for their group's debut. Now, why could these 4 groups debuting in 1 year be the biggest mistake JYP ever makes? It all boils down to this: can they handle it? The only reason JYP are trying this is because they think they're ready to handle something like this. Now, why do they have this confidence? Because it stems from, I don't know if you remember all the way back, of Park Jin-young, the CEO and founder of JYP Entertainment, talking about JYP 2.0. And let's just let him speak a little bit about the whole project.
Today is the first day that we're announcing the new vision, the new step our company is willing to take, and we're calling it JYP 2.0. We're reforming our whole company. Till last year, our company was categorized by its functions: marketing division, promoting division, management division, A&R division. So all the divisions were actually categorized by the work they do. 2015, 16, I started to realize the more bigger that our company started to grow, I realized this wasn't fast enough. The process of manufacturing content wasn't fast enough. 2 years ago, I started an experiment. I created a special task force to handle just one artist, and that one artist only. Which means they had their own marketing person, they had their own promotional person, they had their own management person. So everything was being handled inside that task force.
Park Jin-young was talking about companies within companies, a specific task force handling a certain group's activities. Dealing with the success that JYP was having at a time, there was either 1 or 2 things he could have done. Either cut back and only focus on those artists that are the most popular and generating the most revenue for the company, or 2, go full force into it. And JYP is confident that they can handle 4 new groups this year because they ran a test that was so successful, but not many people know what that test was. And that test
was TWICE. Everything and anything related to TWICE was handled by that task force. So that was my first test, and actually the result was amazing.
He used TWICE as the first experiment of this company within a company system. And as we know now, that test, he passed with flying colors. TWICE has become the biggest girl group in the world. Not only in Korea, Japan, but the world. That is why JYP is so confident that they can handle 4 new groups in 1 year. But are they overly confident? Like I said, no other company has even tried to do something like this. Either because they don't have the manpower to handle all those comebacks, or they simply, it's not reasonable. But JYP has made it possible for that to be even a question. And that question is about to be answered here in 2019. When ITZY debuts, it's going to be an immediate success, and 2019 is going to be ITZY's year. JYP has planned it so that they use this new system to have ITZY go full force into debuting and getting all the media attention they need to be successful. And one other thing that they timed out perfectly was no competition for new girl groups this year. And I say that because a lot of insiders say that none of the big 3 are going to be debuting a new girl group relatively in this year. You know what? I'm 100% confident that ITZY is going to win new girl group of the year. With ITZY having no competition, it's going to be a landslide victory, and it's going to be the second test that JYP is going to ace. But the real test is that second, third, and fourth group. We don't know anything about those groups, boy groups, girl groups. a band like Day 6, a duo, a trio. We don't know who these artists are or who their artists could be. But that's the real test, to see how those artists do. If there's no new girl group competition this year, there's competition elsewhere, no doubt. And boy groups is the hardest competition. And if JYP can use this new system to have a new boy group debut out of JYP being one of those 4, and that being a major success as a test, JYP doesn't need to test anymore. Another thing that came out recently, and he also talked about in JYP 2.0, is that Park Jin-young has created JYP Publishing. Aside from JYP moving to a new building to house all these employees, artists, trainees, everything they need to be successful, he also put money and effort into JYP Publishing. So JYP Publishing is basically another company, but it's specifically designated for songwriters. In order to facilitate all these groups that need these releases and comebacks as fast as JYP is going to produce them, he needs songs. And these songs are going to come from artists or songwriters in JYP Publishing that he hired to be in-house writers. So they don't need to go out to buy songs or to buy, demos to see if they can make a song out of it. They already have something in-house that they can use. And that just makes the system so much more faster. JYP Publishing is a huge key and plays a big factor in how fast JYP is going to grow this year. And of course, another variable in this is how good are those songs. How good a song is very opinionated. Some people hate songs, some people love those songs. It's so diverse. But usually a general audience will say they either like it or don't. The fact that Twice was the test, it makes me a little scared. Because JYP are planning something that has never been seen in K-pop before that can change the whole landscape of what we know as K-pop today. And if it is this successful, that other K-pop companies are going to mimic, if not already. I'm willing to bet that these new groups from JYP are going to be the biggest and best in their position. ITZY being the best new girl group of 2019. Whoever is next coming is going to be the best in their position. No doubt. You can quote me on that as well. I am almost as confident as JYP is. But again, I pose the question, is this gonna be a big mistake by JYP? You know the saying, your eyes are always bigger than your stomach. Or, am I using that right? Basically, you want more than you can handle. From what I saw, JYP likes to talk about stock.
And to be more honest with you, the reason I came here today was my friends at Macquarie told me that if I do this event, our stock price tomorrow will skyrocket.
And stock is separate from like revenue or like how much money a company takes in. Stock is its independent value of the company. I think JYP is a little obsessed with stock, but they're obsessed for it for the right reason. When a company has stock, that company is public and they are live on the trading market. And people can buy stocks and sell stocks and make money, depending on how well the company is doing. JYP is expected to grow hundreds of percents in the near future with this success. And stock is a huge play in that as well. It allows investors to make money off of JYP's success and actually propel JYP even further. They're gonna have so much money, so much backing to continue to produce these new groups, tons of comebacks after comebacks after comebacks. It's gonna seem like the artists don't even rest, which is also another problem. As we know, some K-pop groups are forced to come back very frequently and seem very tired when they are performing on stage and doing promotions and going all over Korea doing things to help get their song up there in the charts. Overworking is definitely a problem in Korea still, even with K-pop idols, especially with K-pop idols. That is another variable that I think JYP should take in strong consideration, and I'm sure they already have. You can see the exhaustion in some artists like Twice when they have to come back and keep promoting, keep performing. I definitely think that they get overworked at points. They get tired, but they don't get burned out. There is a fine line that I think JYP wants to meet, and that can be very dangerous. I just hope the artists are completely fine and happy getting all this activity compared to maybe some groups that maybe don't get as much activity as they think they should. YG. Ooh, that's a bad cough. So the question of, is JYP about to make the biggest mistake ever? We're gonna find out. But I have a feeling that this is gonna be a huge success for JYP in 2019, and they are gonna be the biggest, the best, and promote and produce the biggest and the best artists in K-pop. And they're gonna bring in the new era of K-pop. as weird as that sounds, as weird as I sound, I think it's gonna happen. And with the news of the 4 groups in 1 year, investment in JYP publishing, keep an eye out for JYP artists. It's almost gonna be a force to reckon with that maybe nobody can reckon with for a while.